testing here. Let's see if people can hear me. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Okay, audio seems good. Let me just make sure that if some of this stuff.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy TMI. I am the Mass Investor. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Okay, so let's do a quick test to see if audio plays through here and if I can hear it.
Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I do want to discuss a few different things here. What happens to the market today? Where are we going? What does next week look like? I want to talk about Binance, AMC's new gift card. I want to speak about a few different things we have to keep an eye out for in regards to
Mic is low compared to video. Yeah, I can boost up my mic. Mic is low compared to video. Okay, I think audio is mostly fixed. Hopefully everything, it sounds clear on my end. I tried it hearing it through my phone. Sounds good. So I'll be starting shortly. In the meantime, if anyone has questions, feel free to leave it in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them. And just one thing to point out, I just noticed that a lot of these AMC folks, all these people pumping and grifting it, and even all the other YouTube channels, like the folks that are constantly pumping, man, they talk super fast. I didn't realize that. They're speaking like a million words a minute. I just realized looking back on my videos tend to be like 20 to 30 minutes per video. And these folks they're putting out videos like 5 to 6 minutes and they're just talking so fast. What's my take on New York Angelo, NY Angelo? I've heard his name mentioned a couple times. I'll probably take a look at one of his videos. He's certainly not someone I have a positive view on. Yeah. For the folks that are already here, thanks for being here. We'll be getting started shortly in a couple minutes. Basically, wanted to hop on live. First one I've done in a long time. Just wanted to cover, give you a couple updates. I've updated all my data, so I'll give you a brief update on that stuff on that end. Impact on the financials of AMC, and then I'm going to go into the meat of, I'm going to be pulling up recent videos that a lot of these pumpers, frauds, and grifters have been posting, and I'll give you my brief take on it. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, they gotta push out that clickbait. Easy to talk fast if you don't provide evidence. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the content of those videos are short because, hey, they're not bringing in any sort of what do I say? They're not bringing in anything worthwhile. There's no evidence to really back it up. So the people who are trying to counter that, like for me, when I try to counter all these claims that all these people are pushing out, it takes time. I need to spend more time to research it because first I need to verify, is this information correct that they're pushing out? If it's correct, what's their source? Where's their data coming from? What's those numbers coming from? And then run the numbers, verify it, and then come back and see, hey, is what they said matching up with what the data shows? If it doesn't, then okay, why doesn't it match up? Yeah, true. I'm not putting out 7 videos a day. Um, I mean, I've become a little bit more active recently. Um, Work was super busy in the past couple months. It's kind of slowing down now, holiday time. So I think a lot of people are also noticing that, oh, hey, kind of shutting. Depends on your industry sector, but some companies, everyone's kind of getting that holiday fatigue. So everyone's like, oh, okay, let's just push this stuff off until January. But for all the folks here, let's see. Thanks everyone for being here. Scott, Manuel, Dr. McLovin. Don't know how to pronounce this name. Adrenicide. Thanks for being out here. Thanks for coming on. Hope everyone is having a good day. We got Christmas coming up. Today's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas. Hopefully, especially for the folks further up north in the U.S., up in Canada, hopefully the weather isn't too bad. Please stay safe. Please make sure that you have sufficient supplies. I know there's been news of power going out. So obviously when the power goes out, heat can go out. Please make sure you're safe. Please make sure you're taking the necessary precautions. Okay, so without further ado, let's get the stream started. I found this. I used this as a thumbnail. Honestly, I like the picture, but as the picture shows, is the MOASS done for? The real question is, the question that should be asked is, when did the MOASS end? When did it start and when did it end? It's not when is the MOASS going to happen, because the MOASS already happened. That squeeze up to 72, that was it. You're expecting the share price to go back to $72 or higher? That's not going to happen. Even with this reverse split, that's $72. I doubt it will hit it, even with a 10-to-1 reverse split. So let's pull up the figures. I'm going to give you a quick box office rundown of how the theaters have been performing. So right off the bat, yearly, let's look at it. 2022. How many days left in 2022 this year? We have figures as of December 23rd. So what's that mean? We have 8 more days. 8 days of movie theaters being out, playing movies. But we're at 7 billion gross, total gross, domestic. How's that stack up to, 2019? 11 billion, over 11 billion. 2018 was nearly 12 billion. We're so far behind. So put that into perspective. Let's break it down. Q2 versus Q4 or any of the other quarters. We're currently in Q4. We're almost at 1.5 billion. I'll bring up my little table here because I've compiled it easier. Q4, 1.5 billion, right? Q2, 2.3 billion. Q3, 1.9 billion. I've done the calculations of here. There's no tricks behind any of these numbers. We have 8 remaining days in the calendar year. I used a value of Friday, December 16th, the opening day of Avatar 2, $57 million. We use that, say the theaters perform at this level for the remaining 8 days. Grosses $461 million. Add that to current Q4 totals. What's that going to get you to? That gets you to basically Q3 figures. This is not even Q2 figures, but Q3 figures. Now let's put some perspective behind it. Remember that movie theaters tend to be slow on Q1 and Q3 in general. The cyclical cycle shows that, hey, movie theaters tend to be slow Q1, Q3. Q2 and Q4 are supposed to be your big hitters. Well, Q4, it's looking to be on par with your previous quarter, your Q3. The bigger surprise, look at how it's doing versus 2021. It might not even beat last year Q4. So you know how on earnings calls they always talk about, oh, previous year during the same quarter we did X, 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 Y, and Z. Well, guess what? AMC could be reporting earnings that are less than previous year same quarter. That's wild. Let me do a quick check on chat here. Average is lower than 72. You're down 18K on 2,000 shares. Oof. But yeah, nonetheless, this is just the fundamental, just the numbers breakdown of how the domestic box office is doing. If the box office is slow, it's going to result in a slow quarter for AMC as a movie theater. For those who've not haven't seen my previous videos, this right here, this sheet, I pulled all this info from AMC's 10Q filings. So quick rundown, I have domestic box office here, what it did each quarter. I pull some of the, in my case, in my analysis, what I think is important, whether that's revenue, operating costs, the breakdowns between admission, food, beverage, all that, et cetera, et cetera. We know that every quarter this year, they've been burning cash, hundreds of millions of dollars, 337, 121, 200, and nearly 27 million. I had initially estimated, this was back almost 2 months ago now when I did my initial projections, AMC would be close to burning $130 million cash this Q4. Obviously, we'll need revisions because we have that news of Ape equity that was sold at the market program. We have that pending deal with Antara Capital and all the different proposals behind it regarding such as the conversion of Ape back to AMC, the reverse split of Ape into AMC, or sorry, not the reverse split of AMC shares once that occurs, and then obviously the proposal to allow AMC to sell more equity, to sell more shares. And so in essence, more dilution. So financially, I'm going to be giving an update to this. I'll probably have that out, work on this tonight, verify, and probably by tomorrow, hopefully not too many family commitments. Hopefully I can get out of those so that I can have this information out. But nonetheless, I want to be looking at some of these videos now. So without further ado, let's pull up some AMC videos. Oops. Hold on. AMC. Sorry, there we go. AMC. I'm going to filter this to today. And also, let's filter it by view count. So who are the big hitters? Who's watching all these AMC videos, who's getting the most pull. So I see Keenan Grace is the top one, 26,000 views. Thomas J's investing at 11K. Oh, here's this absolute fraud. Stocks and crypto plays. I already did a video on him yesterday. Earlier someone mentioned New York Angelo. Is that guy here? Okay, there we go. He put out a video 5 hours ago. Let's do a quick watch of him.
Well guys, let's face it, in the end it will be a zero-sum game. Half of the people here on the channel are against, voting no on everything. Other half are yes. Most people on Twitter are yes as well. But here is the scoop. Here is the actual data that proves the point that hedge funds, what they aim for, what they want from Adamiran is doing so. Look at this. Jim Chanos, earlier, when the ape was created, said that they're buying ape, they're long on the ape because essentially the ape price will be the same as AMC. And they said that ape and AMC are the same paper. They just want to buy the cheaper one. As you can see over here, Jim Chanos believes that the ape will be trading in the future as the same price of AMC stock. Don't forget.
Yeah, so he's trading it based on, he believes there's an arbitrage between the price of AMC and price of ape.
He has a short position on AMC. For him, makes so much sense to buy cheap ape and then convert the ape into AMC. And the apes that are gonna vote yes are so happy about it. They're so happy that they're going to convert their apes into AMC because maybe it's good for them, right? It's good to have additional AMC shares cheap. But they are forgetting that the people who also hold apes are short sellers, who will get a cheap AMC share that they could use to cover their short positions. Just think about you short AMC at $50, and you get the reverse stock split and AMC that you short at 50 now worth $5, right? Just think about how much of a discount you're gonna get purchasing a bunch of apes at buck 20, 30, 40. Just think about they will be converting a bunch of it, right? Because they purchase so many millions of apes, especially the ones that actually borrow the shares. This is why, guys, in my opinion, not financial advice, this is very, very favorable for the short sellers. All the short sellers who got into AMC, shorting the company, for many
Okay, is this guy ever gonna talk about the squeeze? Come on.
months. Now, they will be able, if this vote actually passes, to be able to purchase back the shares on open market, having the shares automatically. If they actually own the apes, they will have the shares automatically in their account. They don't have to.
Okay, so people like him always boggle me. Why is there this notion that, hey, when people open short positions, do they never close? So people who shorted the company at 60, are you saying they never closed? I just don't understand this concept. You think that, oh, they hold on to these short positions for months and months at a time? You think that they're not always balancing their portfolios? You think they only make changes to their portfolios, once a year or once a quarter? Like, I just don't understand. Like, where's the logic? Where's the reasoning behind this type of stance?
To go on the open market looking to buy the shares at the high prices, pushing the stock price going up, right? Just think about this is how it's going to work. It's not if or not, right? The second point, like I said, is it's a zero-sum game. If the vote passes in this direction, oh yes or oh no, the stock will go in completely different direction. It's not like whatever happens is going to be, 50% win and 50% loss, or the result won't be uncertain. It's a zero-sum game. If people vote yes, this is going to happen with the stock. If people vote no, this is what's going to happen with the stock. It's a clearly zero-sum game. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. The only person that's not going to lose is Adamiran because he's already a millionaire, which nothing wrong with this. And why I find disturbing is because when you see expectations of the short sellers happening in real life, right? What Jim Chanos predict, or hope things to happen in a way in which this gentleman predict, right? Doesn't make sense. And like I said yesterday, there is a chance ape before the conversion to actually be higher price-wise versus AMC. Ape could be $3-4, AMC could be $3, especially with this low volume, no interest of people trading, no interest of people.
Okay, so he's just saying that so AMC and ape, so pre this news, it was around that mid $5 range, mid 5 to almost 6. But now you're saying that the combined value of both AMC and ape will be above that? Okay, based on what sort of logic, what sort of reasoning? Like, where's your evidence to support any of this?
People buying the dip so far. This is why yesterday I asked you, are you willing to convert your more expensive ape for cheaper AMC if that actually happens? Because at the end of the day, everything is numbers. If ape is more expensive than AMC, well, the shorts most likely will vote no. A lot of people also speculating that, as we all know, ape gives you ability to vote. And there are plenty of votes that are currently held from institutional investors who own the ape. So a lot of people are saying already that, the vote is already secured because they have enough apes to vote for or against whatever they want. It's another thing that should be considered as well. In the end, the vote might not actually be determined from the apes, but from the institutional investors. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, guys, and always use the actual data, right? This is the actual data. What is the ownership of the ape from institutions? What is the ownership of the ape of individual investors? This 90% individual ownership of AMC stock that should be relevant for 90% ownership in the ape as well, it's not equal anymore. I don't know how this actually changed, but how the stock would go down so much, like especially when the announcement of the reverse.
Hold on, you're talking about facts, but I don't see you presenting any of it. Where's your source? Let me look down on his stuff here. Does he link any of his sources? No. He got, oh, look at all this stuff that he's pushing though. Look at, oh, his $200 bonus chase, your Coinbase, your Canva Pro. Oh, you can support it by donating by Cash App, Venmo. Look at that. This, oh, not a financial advisor, yada, yada, yada. Please always check with the, okay. The content in this video is accurate as of posting date. No, it's not. Your content is not accurate as of your posting date. None of it is correct. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Stock split, how can the stock would be down 24% when 95% or around 90% of the stock is owned by individuals and they're not selling?
Okay. These people are, they keep on pushing this whole narrative, oh, it's owned by 90%. When was that number given? When was that information correct as of? As of Q1 2022? Q2 2021? Like, you need to consider, is that data old? Is this data no longer correct? If the stock price has changed that much, if it's from 30s, 20s down to the single digits, the people who are holding those shares, it had to have changed. Owners. People would have to have sold. But either way, okay, let's think about it this way then. If retail really does own 90%, what's the worry? If a mass majority of you vote no to these proposals, where's the worry? Where's the fire? I don't know, this guy.
Right? This, again, it's a...
Okay, whatever, outro. Thank you for giving that warning about that 40 whatever plus second outro. Squeeze time, AMC squeeze, time to make a choice. What choice? You think really your vote matters? You think your measly whatever 15, 20, 30K shares is going to make a difference when you have over 500 million shares of AMC, Class A common stock, when you have over 900 million shares of Ape? Come on, guys. Like, do the math. Let's see. Let me catch up on some of these comments here. Yes. What's up, Model 3 dude? Let's see. He puts out 180 conflicting videos at a time. The guy only shows year-old videos like they're new. Same stuff from 2021. Tuck Carlson. Choices between losing 90% and losing 100%. Yeah, they're certainly going to be losing a lot of money. Oh, this is one guy. I know this has relatively low view count, but this is one person I really wanted to cover. So my stream.
Guys, what is going on? I wanted to make this.
Let's go into him. So this scavenger stonks guy. Let's take a look. What's his video about? What's he say? Welcome. Another uplifting video. His overall thoughts on why this plays a significant role in our MOASS. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, special announcement. They have merch in the works. Okay, show your support for suicide awareness with 100% donated to the American Foundation of Force. Okay. Props to you for that. If this is correct, if 100% of the profit is donated to the suicide prevention, all for that. Because to be honest, a lot of people, when this doesn't go their way, doesn't MOASS again, you might have people needing this. But nonetheless, let's listen to this guy. And I have to play these at least 1.5 speed because I can't handle watching like the full length in normal time.
This video for you guys. To some it may make sense, to some it may not make sense, but you know I love making my analogies over here, and honestly I think it's going to help a lot of people. This is an analogy that has three components. So you have the car company, which in this case would be AMC. You have the dealership, which in this case would be your market makers, your shorts, whatever it may be.
Oh man, no, Manuel, that's come on. Let's we got to be humane.
Obviously, market makers or the lender loan the shares to shorts, and then you have the consumer, which in this case, ironically, the consumer's retail. So let's get into it and start. I drew this little graph right, or this little categorized document for you guys, and I'm going to walk you through it right now. So, what did AMC start with doing? So obviously, we're gonna refer to all three things though in the car company, the dealership, and the consumer. So a car company starts with 516 million cars produced. The dealership, right, sells the 516 million cars to the consumer. That's a given, right? That's a dealership's job. The consumer now owns 516 million cars. Pretty
Okay, why is he using cars? But okay, so far, so he's talking about the shares, Class A common shares initially. Why don't you starts with 516? So I guess he's only starting from semi recently. You go back like 2 years, stock started at, or 3 years rather, stock started at like what, 80 million shares, and then ballooned to 500 plus. Well, whatever. Do I really want to listen to all this?
pretty self stops car building. It stops diluting the car market. Well, this is a so we'll keep loaning them out. An additional 376 million due to recall problems. So now this leaves you with 100.
Hold on. Recalls. Car company retract says they aren't producing anymore, and they are actually going to recall all new cars produced. Plus, the hell is he? Oh, okay. So this is how he's explaining the reverse split. But I don't understand. Okay, I guess I'll have to listen to this part.
Dealer to locate later. That's what happens. This is where it gets interesting. The car company retracts, says they aren't producing anymore, and are actually going to recall all new cars produced plus an additional 376 million due to recall problems. So now this leaves you with 140 million cars on the market. Here we are in this big problem, right? You've decreased the amount of cars by 10, right? The dealership has loaned, sold more cars than exist, and now they panic on what the next move is, as they just sold too many cars. On top of still needing to locate those because they've obligated to the consumer and signed contracts and sold these vehicles. So what are they going to do now? Supply being low, costs will be expensive, and cars will be much harder to locate, right?
Oh, what in the world? This is another video about what, synthetic shares? Is this what this is about? I don't understand where this number came from. This additional 376 million. If they had a 1.4 billion, you do the reverse split by so slash by 10 basically, divide by 10. Where's this 376 figure coming from? And I'm just absolutely lost. You talk about, oh, shares are more difficult to locate. No, all it is you're just moving a zero around. It doesn't make shares any harder to locate versus before. Sure, finding one share when you have 1.4 billion shares out is much easier than, I guess, finding one share when you have 10 times less shares out. Technically, yes. But the number of the value and everything, it's all the same. Why is it going to be that much more difficult to locate, more harder to locate? I don't understand. Oh, yeah.
You had 1.4 billion cars that existed, and now you only have 140 million. How are you going to locate the synthetic cars, if you will, that you sold? It's going to be a cluster. Consumer
synthetic cars. I don't understand how you. This car analogy is absolutely terrible. The scavenger guy. Oh, ridiculous.
had their cars recalled. In this case, though, the average consumer owned all of the cars. So this is the interesting part. So
okay, so he also uses the whole notion of, hey, retail owns 90% of the company. Okay, I think I can see what the rest of this is all about. Car company releases 60 million more cars, so they're gonna dilute 60 million more shares. This type of information always boggles me too. Where is your evidence? Where is the source on how much more they are able to dilute? When you do that reverse split, that authorization of shares for APE from their preferred shares, which they have 40 million preferred shares left of, they have 40 million of that. Where is this 60 million figure coming from? folks like these it's just absolutely crazy. You're pulling numbers out of thin air. This 376 million, this 60 million. What? Synthetic shares. Oh, cost to borrow will go up. Hard to borrow, etc. Blah blah blah. Consumers see the value of the current cars they own as 10,000 times as the price is so expensive for dealers to short. This whole concept too. Oh, it's if the price goes high, if the price of the stock is 10 times, it's going to be more difficult for them to short. Too expensive for them to short. These aren't the folks that are shorting. Supposedly, these big these big hedge funds that you're so calling that are so evil. They don't deal with just hundreds of dollars or hundreds of shares. They're going through thousands, tens of thousands of shares if they're shorting it. They have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to be making their trades on. So if they're shorting 10,000 shares of AMC right now, if they do their reverse split, then they can just short it with the same value with 10 times less. So if it's 10,000 shares, they'll use 1,000 shares. Why is suddenly making the price going to make them stop? Is it going to prevent them from shorting? Like, where's your logic? The dollar value isn't changing. It's a psychological thing a lot of the times because it's a degree of 10. Okay,
Recall
so
that,
I'm gonna skip
the
through.
many cards.
Does he says
It's gonna
anything
keep-
else in here?
Demand for these are going to be super high. Ones
No,
and
there's nothing else to watch from this guy because this analogy absolutely nuts, makes no sense. I just want to do a quick fact check on that 884 million. So let's see, Ape, Aftermarket, Antera, that. He can't even get the numbers. 880. No, he can't even get the number of apes. Apes correct too. These folks, do they not even look at the filings? So if you had 516 million shares Class A common stock, you get that initial creation from the dividend. 1 AMC, 1 ape. We know that from their 1219 press release, 123 million shares of ape that were sold so far. They sold 60 million in the first tranche to Antara Capital. Second tranche of 106.6. And approximately 91 million would be given to Antara Capital for the exchange, debt equity exchange, for the second lead notes. $100 million lead note, and in return they'll get approximately 91 million shares of ape. You add all this together, ape is 897 million. You combine AMC and ape, 1.4 billion. These folks that are talking, they're so bullish about their company, they don't know much about it. Like, they don't get the right information. It's boggling. It's crazy. So, okay. That guy didn't really do much. Keenan, this guy, bow tie guy. Let's see.
This episode is brought to you by the Moomoo Investing app. Use the link pinned to the top.
Moomoo Investing. So this guy, another free stocks. Join his Patreon for $10. Merch. Okay, social media. Blah blah blah. I shall not be held liable for any losses. Okay.
Comment to get up to 20 free stocks. We got to talk about the beast, the big dog, the banger. I'm talking about AMC Entertainment. I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell. I'm here to give you the facts and you can be the judge. But you got to understand.
Okay, so he's going to talk about the facts. Let's see what facts you're going to be spitting out.
There's a lot going on, particularly with the CEO of AMC. And check this out, because it's rubbing some of the investors the wrong way, but a lot of other ones really understand what's going on here. But let's break it down. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it raw. Check it out. So Adam Aaron, who is the CEO of AMC, he made a post the other day, and he said, "He who laughs last laughs best." So a lot of investors, they think, man, we ain't laughing. The stock is down tremendously on the year. What's going on, right?
Yep, definitely true. Stock's down pretty bad.
So what he's thinking, Adam Aaron, and again, I'm not for or against Adam Aaron. I'm here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you can make an informed decision. And remember, I always got to say this: treaters drive us to being a penny stock. So there's going to be a shareholder vote to consider a 1-to-10 reverse stock split, which means simple arithmetic, the share count is going to go down. Account your portfolio. If you had $50 worth of AMC before, once they do this reverse split, you're still going to have $50 worth of AMC.
Okay, so at least this guy gets that initial portion of the reverse split, so he's not that dumb.
It's not going to change anything really. Just the number of stocks that you have is just going to drastically just decrease, but the overall price is going to be the same. Now, check this out. You're wondering, why are they doing this? Why would they even consider doing something like this, right? So here we go. Adam Aaron, he told us right here. Now, I want to know though, let me know, what is your opinion, right? We're not talking about, what somebody should do or shouldn't do. What is your opinion on this reverse split? Are you for it? Are you against it? Let me know in the comments so I can come down here and get a test on how you feel in the family. Now, let's check this out. This is why though, when you really look under the hood and you say, yo, what's going on here? He said this, Ape worked exactly as intended. He said it let us raise cash. So hold up. Ape is to raise cash for AMC. AMC, and you got to think about this. We know the AMC apes, the people who are diamond handling, the people who have not over leveraged themselves because they understand the manipulation going on. They understand that.
Manipulation going on. Okay. So you said you're going to talk about facts, but you're talking about manipulation now. No proof.
AMC used to be just one thing, but then they split it into
Source, no
AMC
evidence.
and Ape. The creation of Ape gave the executives of AMC the opportunity to sell Ape and dilute Ape and then just raise cash for the company because they weren't making enough money to keep the company going, selling popcorn or having people going to the movies. They weren't doing that. But remember,
Okay, so this guy seems to understand the initial part. You understand the creation of Ape. This is all stuff Adam Aaron mentioned in the first place. It's not like this is brand new.
we knew that AMC was not a fundamental play. Don't ever let anybody get it twisted. So now,
AMC's not a fundamental play, but you guys have been in this for how long again? How many years?
let's get back into it. He said this, but you know what? There's a huge discount on Ape in the market price versus the common stock. So Ape costs way less than AMC costs right now, and this must be addressed, according to Adam Aaron. And remember, I'm just a messenger, but I'm gonna keep it real and keep it raw with you. And he said it's time to convert Ape into AMC and eliminate that discount, right? So let's see what's going on. AMC is currently $4.39 in downtown AMC. We don't have to sell them at this price at $168. We can sell them at this price, about $4, right? So remember, money doesn't come out of thin air. They would be selling, in this example of what Adam Aaron said out of his own mouth. And again, I'm just a messenger, so it is what it is. This 1 for 10 reverse split.
Yes, the conversion makes sense. The reason why the conversion makes sense is, as you said, or as, where's that quote? To eliminate that discount. Right now, what happened with Ape? What Antera Capital was able to do? They bought a significant chunk of voting power at a crazy discount. Let's pull up this figure again. 1.4 billion total shares between AMC and Ape. AMC common stock and Ape. Antera will own 257 million shares out of 1.4 billion. And they did this on pennies on the dollar. If they wanted that same percentage, if they wanted more than 5% of this company and they were to do it through AMC, they would have had to pay significantly more. But they don't have to. So it's smart on AMC's half because they want to raise more money, because they need to raise more money. My proof is their cash liquidity. Their cash liquidity is going down, and quarter after quarter, they're burning millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. So they need to raise more money. They're not going to be able to raise enough money through selling Ape, especially at these prices, even at $1.50, whatnot.
According to Adam Aaron, this price at this was
so
going to take
let's
us to
see.
happen, but we will never AMC Apes. Red, this means research, but I'm saying, hey, you know what? How about I remember that? But let's check this out. We got to look at the hot stocks of the day. The hottest stock of the day is Tesla. But look what's right under it. Ape and AMC. For the exact reason that we're talking about. People are saying, you know what? How about I sell out of my AMC and then buy Ape with it? And if they transfer Ape into AMC, then I'm going to be along for that ride, for that arbitrage, right? A lot of people are thinking that way. And that's one of the reasons why they're doing this. Am I saying you need to go and try that? No, go and do your own research. But I'm saying that this is one of the ways that people are thinking. So let's check this out. What are the big dogs doing? Like I always say, understand this. Hold up. The big dogs is betting against this like crazy. And I'm going to bring the facts right here. Look at this. This is the unusual options activity where we can see on December 23rd, aka today, Somebody's buying puts. When you go long on a put, you can see how clear this is and how it's red. This means they're betting against it. If it was green, they were betting with it. Let's get into some of the details. This bet against it. They're betting that it's going to go to $2 a share. That AMC is going to $2 a share by when? Year 23, month 4, day 21. So they're betting by 2023 in April on the 21st. Yeah, they think it's going to $2 and they're willing to bet $328,000 on that. And then it's getting even crazier. They're saying, you know how we're at about 430 right now? They bought a put option. See how it's red and it says buy. And they're saying that by 2023, June 16th.
This guy, you're making such major generalizations about potential options flows that's one way to think about the options. When you're seeing a significant amount of put activity. But another way is you're not focusing on just, is there, on the flip side, what's going on? What's the open interest? What's the volume on the flip side, on the calls? Like, you're only giving a small portion of the information, of the data. You're only giving us a tiny tidbit of a map.
Go down. This is why we are trying to fight for market equality. You can't make a bet and then go force it to happen and then win your bet, right? But the institutions, they're able to do that. And again, I want to give a shout out to Moomoo, which is today's sponsor again, because we get to see this information for free. We get to see the bets that they're doing. So it gives us insight as to how they're going to play a lot of these stocks. So now I want you to see this. So let's get to a quick side note, because that's the end of the part for AMC. But I just got to update you because we talked about this. Now, this is Caroline Ellison, however you say
Oh
it.
god, the FTX stuff. Okay, if he's going to talk about that stuff, let's skip it. I'm not interested in it. Oh, is that it? Okay, so that was it about him, about AMC. So okay, so the initial stuff, not wrong. He knows some stuff. I'll admit. But very shallow understanding of options on options flows. The way he characterizes and presents the information of the options flows about these put contracts. No. You need more context. Okay. So let's see.
So I want to talk about how Citadel has created and lost over $65 billion in synthetic shares.
Oh, this guy. Okay, I've been seeing this guy on Twitter too recently. So let's see how this is covered.
These were created by Citadel over the last few years, but as a result of reverse splits, the CUSIP numbers have changed, and this is now dead money tied up and lost forever. Citadel is continually draining their fund of cash and will soon be...
Okay, more. Okay, I just want to take a quick look at this guy here. Okay. More free crypto on whatever that is. Discord, merch, typical. Yeah, join whatever broker. Wants you to join all those folks. What? Citadel has 65 billion synthetic shorts that are now lost forever? What? Where are these folks pulling these numbers out of? Citadel has tied up 65 billion of cash that can never be used again, bringing them closer and closer to margin calls. Oh god, this guy. This is even worth watching. On top of conversion to APE to AMC, short positions will increase significantly, add to the requirement of 100% maintenance margin. Their short positions will increase by 7.5. Factor in additional 200% borrowing cost, meaning 22.5 times the short position. God. People like him really have no clue. When you're trading, when you're a hedge fund, when you're trading in not just thousands of or $10,000, $100,000, when you're trading in millions, you don't have the same type of requirements right off the bat. You don't have a maintenance margin of 150%. That's just when you grab this 150% percent maintenance margin, that's just from your broker for your type of account. If you factor in the borrowing costs, same thing. That's what your broker is telling for you as a retail investor. You get significantly more money that you're trading with. You're trading a lot more frequently. You are not getting those same costs. You're not paying those same fees. Oh, he has that same photo I posted as a poster in the back.
Margin called. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'm going to dive straight in with the key information. So, Dave Murphy tweeted saying, for those that don't want to read through the entirety of my last post, just focus on this page and ask yourself, where have I heard the term sold but not yet purchased before? So this article says that reverse mergers and reverse splits typically results in a change in the CUSIP number, the 9-digit identification symbol assigned to a public stock. Once that CUSIP changes, the naked short has no apparent way to close out of the naked short position. Their cash is tied up and lost forever. No
Naked short positions. Oh my god.
real shares under the old CUSIP number exist anymore.
Hold on, so where
And ask yourself,
where was this coming from? Does he ever post a link to that? Nope.
where have I heard sold not yet purchased securities, which now sits at $65.7 billion? It's well known that market makers
Okay, so they're pulling that 65 billion from Citadel's financial condition. But you're saying that Citadel has all of their stocks not yet purchased? You're saying that it's all under AMC? Is this guy absolutely insane? You think they're invested in AMC? Like, their only investment is in AMC? Like, what?
should be in the
What is he
anymore,
talking
as the underlying
about?
companies have performed reverse. Liabilities are so large that Federal,
This guy has no clue.
with
what
the copy
hell
trading
he's
platform, you don't need any prior crypto experience. You can simply copy the
Oh, so his little plugin sponsor, the crypto stuff.
total securities. But while they have $59 billion in assets, they also have $65 billion in liabilities of securities sold, not yet purchased. This is $65 billion in dead money tied up that they can never access and never use ever again.
You can never access, never use again? Okay, this guy really has no clue what the hell he's talking about.
Get purchased. We've also got Morgan Stanley that have 48 billion, we've got Wells Fargo that has 35 billion, and we've even got Bank of America that has 170 billion dollars in securities sold, not yet purchased. 8 to AMC,
so
they're short.
Got no clue. Yep, he's pulling it this rate from whatever his broker is. Oh, it's from Tony De Niro. Okay. Oh, this guy's following Ortex.
Absolutely
funds.
rocketing again over the last few days. The cost to borrow average right now is 231%, and the cost
This cost to borrow doesn't mean squat. You're pulling it from a couple brokers. You got to look at, how many shares is that based on? Like, you need to understand the context of the data that you're using. You need to understand what it encapsulates. If you don't, then you're going to be running off with, oh my god, cost to borrow is 500% now. Oh, it's going to squeeze. Like, yes, numbers are important, but you got to understand the context of those numbers. You got to understand what those numbers really mean. And this guy obviously doesn't. So, let's see. Nope, I don't think he covers anything else important. Oh, okay. This video, this was funny.
and practically confirmed everything I've said in this video by saying that APE is currently too undervalued, and therefore by converting it to AMC, massively increases the price of those APE shares as it turns them into AMC shares. Obviously that does increase the share price for us, but it also massively increases the cost for these shorts to do their shorting.
Common shares.
Increases the cost for them to short.
Are the same thing. Okay. And there's no explaining it. But the market has priced the ape at 1/7 of the common share. And they're the same thing. So we're giving them away at 1/7 of where we should. So it makes it so we gotta put them back together.
Right.
And if you own the ape, it's gonna go up in value. And as the company raises more capital in the future, we'll raise it at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times the price we're getting now for it. And this makes no sense. But you know, when we announced it today, the ape went up 75% today.
Well, my AMC one.
Where Adam Aaron really let us know that he knows exactly what these shorts are doing to the AMC stock. He said the market knows that they've been playing games with us, aka playing games with the AMC and APE shares, aka manipulating the prices. But guys, try to let me know what you think down in the comments.
Yeah. Let me give you a dislike, dude. Like, you're absolutely got no clue what the hell you're talking about. Already talked about that tool. I have no clue who this person is. Bulldog Trading. Okay, let's see. Does he Oh god, this was a stream, I guess. Okay, so 12-hour stream. Let's see if I can skip through. Does he talk? Okay, I don't think he actually even talks, but why the hell was there 4,000 clicks on that. An Idiot's Guide to Understanding the Ape Conversion from the Common Sense Investor. I want to watch this one.
They released ape. They didn't have enough ape, so they had to start counterfeiting and buying and everything else. And eventually, now there's billions of fucking ape out there. Y'all know the story. You know the drill. But get ready.
There's billions of ape out there? No. There's only 897, so basically 900 million ape. They have the ability to authorize more and sell more, but there isn't billions of ape out there.
Because here comes the new twist that nobody has thought about. Okay, see all them apes that these hedge funds and these
Oh, I like the music. That's the one thing I like about this video so far, but
money makers have bought to cover see ape shares. A trap. What's up, everybody? It's Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. I've told y'all all along that I believed that Highcroft was the play that Adam Aaron is focused on.
A gold company that's not mining gold, that's operating at a cash burn status. We have yet to figure out when they'll finally be able to resume their operations to return to profitability. Adam Aaron said he himself said that he's expecting a longer term thing in that investment, 5 to 6 years out. So you buy in now when the price has skyrocketed, when you know the company isn't going to be doing squat for the next year or two. So its fundamental value will continue to go down. So literally that's just a pump. The CEO pumped a stock, this gold mining, silver mining stock. You guys bought in at the top, and now you're going to be bag holding for the next couple of years until finally, if in the case the company returns to full operational ability and they start mining and they're successful with their mining operations. You've tied up now, if you don't want to take a loss, you've tied up your investment for the next at least 3 to 5 years. Oh yeah, during that time, you're not making any money on that investment. Are you getting dividends out of that? Are you getting paid any dividends on a quarterly, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis? Are you getting stock dividends out of that? Hell, even if you had money in your savings account, you would still get some money out of it. Sure, it's a very small percentage, but hey, that money is growing. You have inflation that's anywhere from 7 to 9%. It's still sky high. Inflation, if inflation is more than whatever, if inflation is greater than 0%, that money that you have right now in that stock, if that stock value price remains the same for that next year, technically you've lost money. The value has gone down because inflation has gone up. So you're not even making money to beat inflation. So not only if the stock continues to go down, your investment value continues to go down. You're not making any money on that, so you can't grow it. Like, how was that the play? That was the play for folks who caught it on the cheap. They saw the pump and they sold it. But if you bought it at the top, you're bag holding, much like your AMC shares. You bought it back when it was $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70. You are bag holding. No matter how many options you've been selling, options contracts you've been selling, unless you've been able to swing it very successfully, you're going to be down on your position a big percentage.
And I told y'all when y'all responded, what about ape? I said ape was the trap he was setting. Okay, and while he had them focusing on that, he's doing something over at Highcroft, whole nother story. But he was
Ape is a trap. Ape is okay. So let's talk about it. We need to differentiate. Ape is a trap for who? Ape was a brilliant move by the company, in my opinion. Ape was a move to generate money for the company. Because the company itself, when it's operating, it's not operating at a positive cash flow manner. It's losing more money than it's bringing in. So it's burning through its cash reserves. Cash on hand is burning through that. And it has a mountain load of debt. Initially, the AMC investors, the shareholders, they refused to allow for additional dilution. So the whole creation of Ape, brilliant move, allowed them to survive until now, so far. It's a trap for those who've been buying Ape. When you've been buying Ape at $10, when you bought it at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do any other comments. Only dividends apes are familiar with is with their own stock dividend that their CEO is begging to get back. Yeah, because I bet you the portfolio diversity for a lot of these folks probably isn't there. They've probably got a significant portion of their portfolios stuck in AMC and Ape, if not all of it. I'm guessing that they only have one portfolio. They only have one account. Like, they don't have any sort of risk management in their trading strategies.
He set a trap with Ape. And I'm watching all the YouTubers and I'm hearing people say, fuck no to the vote. And hell yeah, to the moon with a vote. All right. And I hear some people's desperation, like the Marine, who put out the video addressing Adam Aaron and saying, why did he do this right here at Christmas? Why wouldn't he have waited? Why drop this on retail right now? All right. And I could hear the desperation. He tells him he just hopes it works out the way he wants. So when you walk away from this video, it is my prayer.
The news drop is because of the deal. The deal and the requirement of, hey, you have 90 days for you to do this. So he has to, unless he wants to just flat out reject the deal. But these folks that, whether you're for or against it, you need to understand the financials of the company. If you don't understand the financials of the company, you won't understand what type of vote you need to push through. When your company is burning hundreds of millions of dollars every quarter, we saw that on the box office. Hey, Q4 is looking to be slower than probably even Q3. Probably means you're going to be burning more money. I might have to, I'm going to run through the numbers, but hey, if Q4 performance, box office matches Q3, we might be closer to that $200 million cash burn rate. And remember, we're going into Q1, January 2023, Q1. They burned $337 million. Look at the movies that are coming out. You see any big savers of the company? Ant-Man? Cocaine Bear? Man Called Otto? Creed? Scream? Shazam? John Wick? Are these greater? Then look at Q2 releases. Sonic, Fantastic Beasts, Doctor Strange, Top Gun, Jurassic World, Lightyear, etc. Think about the financials. Q4 going to be, let's say, another 200 million cash burn. Q1, if it does another repeat, another 200 million cash burn. 400 million in 6 months burned. What's that happen to your cash on hand? What happens when you have a minimum debt requirement, minimum debt liquidity from your debt covenants of $100 million? And you want to buy more theaters? They were talking about acquiring ArcLights theaters up in the Boston area, if I recall correctly.
that you completely understand this process that Adam Aaron has created and the trap that he has laid, and I'll get to it in just a second. But before I do, I promised the Marine the story of two signs in my town. When you're driving down the road in my town, you'll see a sign, and it says, bridge ahead. Now, why do you think that sign is there? To tell you there's a bridge ahead. Well, you keep going down this road, and there's another sign, and the other sign says, don't cross it till you get there. So what does that mean, and how does it apply to right now? Well, sometimes we can begin to worry about the things that are ahead of us instead of focusing on the road that's in front of us. All right, I think that's where a lot of people are going wrong right now. I see all the videos on the ape vote, all right, to convert ape, and then the reverse stock split of AMC, and it's all about the vote when you're missing the play. All right, and if you can understand, I'm going to show you step by step using
Okay, so we're missing the play. So he's going to show us step by step. So what is
diagrams this time on what's going on, and then tonight you will be able to lay your head on your pillow and relax and just say, okay, let's see what they got. All right, because started of AMC Class A common stock, par value of 1 cent. All y'all remember the shit that started, and outstanding at the close of August 15th. All right. Regarding the dividend, Adam Aaron, AMC CEO, stated there would have to be a vote to put it back into AMC. The vote to put it back into AMC consists of voting rather AMC's float can be increased. All right, we're going to get to the proposal in just a second. What's important to note right here is Adam Aaron said that we are releasing enough ape for every shareholder. Computer share enough ape to pass out to the list of people that they have, which is ape. They would use Computer Citigroup this time instead of Computer Share to get the shares out to the people that purchased them.
500 million more ape, 425 if I recall correctly, was there up to. Hold on.
Shares out. Okay, this process is very important to understand. Now, next, Adam Aaron started selling ape, and he used Citigroup this time.
I'll answer your question real quick. What is Adam Aaron's end game? It's obvious that AMC can't get out of debt or make money. End game is really to survive until, my bet is 2024 or 2025. The company, yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying from the beginning. They need to restructure. They need to really shed all those terrible movie theaters that they have that are not profitable. When I pulled up, Q1, their theaters, they had 938. They had 500 plus in the US. Of the 500 that's in the US, how many are really pulling their weight? How many are really profitable? Is your reputation of being the world's largest movie chain, does that mean anything? Does that bring you any more money? I don't think people really care when they go to a movie theater. When people go to a movie theater to watch a movie, they're going to be like, okay, how far is that movie theater from my house? How far do I need to travel? Is that place clean? What are the ticket prices? How are the concessions? How's the image quality, sound, etc.? Like, they'll focus on that. Do they care about, oh, AMC, it's the largest movie theater chain in the world, so yeah, I'm going to go to AMC versus a Regal or a Cinemark or Cineworld or whatever.
Time instead of Computer Share to get the shares out to the people that purchased them. Now, he's made roughly about 500 million shares, and the buyers is who Citigroup was looking for, and such as Antara Capital, which bought, let me look, 91 million ape units, 60 million immediately, and it's roughly 500 million apes that have been created. So, and now it's time to put it back in, and we're at proposal number 1 on the ballot for AMC, is to increase the authorized number of AMC common shares to permit the conversion of ape units into AMC common shares. Now, pull on up here, look at you. Do you understand what that means? That means they want to increase the float of AMC by 1 billion. Okay, because there will be 1 billion ape being converted into AMC, so they need to increase the float of AMC by 1 billion.
Okay, so you got that right so far, because Adam Aaron said it's going to be a conversion of 1 ape to 1 AMC. So you have 516 million shares of Class A common stock. You have nearly, we'll round it up from 900 million ape. You add that together, 1.4 billion.
Absorb it. Okay. Now, that's what proposal number 1 is for. Ape was created, all right, and now it's time to put it back in. And in order to get your AMC share for it, we're going to have to increase the float of AMC. Now, before you say yes or no to increasing the float of AMC, you need to understand the whole process and how it becomes the trap. And this is why also this vote is probably one of the most important votes you'll ever take in your life, because so much is hanging in the balance. So when you vote, you want to make sure you're voting correctly. All right. So proposal number 1 again, to increase the authorized number of 1 billion. What's the next step after that? To recall the 8 and replace them with 1 billion new AMC shares. Let me say it again. How's this a trap? If you vote yes, a vote yes.
Step 1, increase the float. Recall ape and give it a new pass out new shares of AMC.
Yes, to increase the authorized number of showed y'all the diagram, and 8 come out, and then it went to all the people. Now it turns around and it goes back. It goes back to computer share so we can get its new AMC Crips number and all that other shit. And then it comes back to us, but only 1 billion. It's a share recall, people, if you go that route. So that's proposal number 1. Then you got proposal number 2, and this video is already too long, but I promise you I will not sleep. I will upload this one. I will start the next video on proposal number 2 and end it with proposal number 3. Love y'all. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, so what's his second
Common
part?
shares are the same thing. If you own it, it's going to go.
Aaron has broken his silence, and I think his was. All right. Then he's going to explain how a mysterious organization that he calls Bankruptcy Inc. has tried to run AMC into the ground through short selling, and he uses 8 as an example and stop it. Now we're going.
And there's no explaining. But the market is priced the 8 at 1/7 of the common share, and they're the same thing. So we're giving them away at 1/7 of where we should. So it makes it so we got to put it back together. If you own the 8, it's going to go up and die.
So there you go, out of the man's mouth itself. He said the reason he's doing the conversion is that he had this wonderful idea of creating 8 to create a currency that create money that could help AMC into the future. They were supposed to be put together in price, but the market has manipulated 8 to the point to where it's at penny stock now. And he says because of that.
That's not market manipulation. That's just market forces. Bid and ask.
It's time to put them back in.
And they're the same thing. So we're giving them away at 1/7.
Because now they can't claim he's done anything to manipulate this stock. As a matter of fact, due to his silence, he's been able to flip the tables and point the finger and tell them that it's your fault we're having to do this. So let's listen now to the clip of where he was speaking to the audience. You're going to hear him talk about Bankruptcy Inc. that tried to run AMC into the ground.
Bankruptcy.
The retail investors who've descended on AMC since January 2021, you supplied us with the cash to keep us going. You supplied us with ideas to innovate and improve. But I'll tell you the thing that you've done more than anything, and I think even more than the money, although the money's pretty important. You're the reason we got out of bed in the morning. You've given us the energy and the drive to make it through this pandemic.
Okay, so you've got the drive from these retail investors, huh? I guess those big fat paychecks, all those bonuses you've been paying yourself, the salary that you're getting for doing your job. Yeah, okay. So you're not working. You're working because of all those retail folks that have been pushing you on.
We just couldn't let you down, and we feel your enthusiasm.
Couldn't let you down. Well, guess what? The stock price says otherwise. The company's performance is telling otherwise. Look at it. Quarter after quarter, you guys are burning barrels of cash. Unlike what that stocks and crypto plays guys is saying, that money is pouring into the company. No. AMC is burning piles of cash left and frickin' right. Look at how much money that they're losing. Can you fathom losing that amount of money every quarter? If you're losing $300 million a quarter, $100 million a month, and what are your genius thoughts? Oh, you know what? We're gonna pay millions of dollars, or I don't know the exact figure, but you're gonna pay all this money to Nicole Kidman to show advertisements about come to movie theaters, come to AMC. Where are those advertisements? Where are those commercials being shown? Are they on TV? I have yet to see one on TV. So is that a smart way to spend your money? Oh, we're going to do Zoom meetings. Okay. How is that going to pay off? AMC credit cards. How's that going to pay off? AMC popcorn. How's that going to pay off? AMC merch, etc. These are not innovative ideas. These are merely ideas that are small appeasements to clueless retail investors that don't know better, because they're all stuck on this hopium, watching these fools like Common Sense Investor, Keenan Grace, Stocks and Crypto Plays, Thomas James Investing. Don't even talk to me about this fool. This guy can't even do basic arithmetic. He can't read. I think he self-authored a book about real estate stuff. Like, that guy is an absolute con man. Quick question here. Why do you think AMC can make money in 2024? I'm not rather I'm saying they're trying to hold off. Like, basically what Adam Aaron and what the company wants to do is basically drag it out as long as they can. Because their hopes is that, hey, they're hoping that movies will continue to come out, that there will be an accelerated pace of movie recoveries and movie releases. As I've been mentioning this in a lot of my videos, obviously the pandemic shut down the creation of movies. Movie production slowed down. And you know that movie productions take roughly they say industry average is 2 to 3 years. So if production resumed, as I mentioned, end of Q3, start of Q4, 2021, you'd start to get some of that effect in end of 2023, basically. Or more along the lines of probably 2024. So you're hoping that, hey, when you look at these releases, when they were doing 700, 800, 900, almost 1,000 releases, and you're only at 485, so this will probably hit maybe almost 500 by the end of the year. We'll see. I don't think there's 15 releases, but you're almost half of what it was in 2018. So if you can recover within the next year and a half, when you get into the middle of 2024, you're hoping that, hey, there's a lot more releases. Because we can see on a daily basis, this past Friday evening, $28 million for the top gross. Out of 4,000 plus movie theaters, only 29 million raised. What is that? Let's say $29 million, right? Divided by, I think, roughly how many theaters are there? Let's say 4,200. 4,200. So on average, $6,900 per movie theater. To run your theater for that one day, you've generated roughly $6,900. $6,900. Is that enough to pay for your lease, rent, your electricity, your utilities, water? Does it cover the cost of your concession, cost of paying your employees, the salaries, the wages of your employees, the cleaning crew? And you'll have days where, hey, Dave only did 3 million. Is that going to be enough? Is 3 million over 4,200 movie... Oops, sorry, 3 million over 4,200 movie theaters. Average of $714 for that whole day. Is that even enough to cover the wages of the people? So you would hope that, hey, with a lot more movies, you'll have more people coming. So that's why they're just trying to hold off. They're trying to buy more time. We have yet to see if that's going to be successful or not. But nonetheless, it's a time stalling tactic right now. Let's finish this video and I'll leave a couple minutes for potential discussions and other stuff. I don't think I'll cover another video in this.
20 more years, I'm not doing it forever, 68. Sooner or later you go. I have money to last me the rest of my life. But I'm sitting here working 70, 80 hour weeks, 7 days a week. And
he's working 70, 80 hours a week? Okay, so I don't know. I bet you he's counting those hours of reading tweets from his fanatical followers on Twitter as work.
Like, there's never downtime because this is a 24/7 business. Like, there's always a theater open somewhere. And I do it because I'm so proud that I've taken on this mission and so honored and privileged that so many...
Proud, honored, and privileged, huh? Yeah, you sold when did you sell all your shares? At what price were you selling your shares again? Yeah.
You would back this. And so I just want to tell you, it means the world to me that you guys care about AMC as much as you do. And I'm very optimistic about our future, especially with the announcement this morning that we raised more money. So we know we're going to make it to the other side. We know that, what I call bankruptcy Inc. isn't going to get their clutches on us and drive us into the ground. They'd like to. They'd like to short us to zero. But we're not going to let them. And when I say we're not going to let them, I mean we are not going to let them. So
So, okay, he needs more money from retail. He needs more bag holders.
with that, that's just a little bit about what's going on. You're so important to our company. You own our company. We actually work for you. You're our bosses. And our interests are very much aligned. I keep on reading on Twitter.
Interests are very much aligned. Huh. I don't think so.
Stuff. Like, I'm on the other team. I'm really the secret plant for hedge funds. Like, are you kidding? I'm the largest individual shareholder of AMC. If you lose money...
You're a large individual shareholder of AMC. Did you buy any of those AMC shares? Or were those granted to you? And of the amount of shares that you have left, what percentage do you hold? How many more shares would you have could you have held on to versus the amount that you've already sold? But oh yeah, it's all part of your estate planning, right? That's why your other executives, your C-level executives, your CFO, your COO, all those other folks, that's why they hold on to the bare minimum of shares needed under that new initiative. Don't forget that, hey, you lifted those restrictions back during the pandemic. So that's why they were selling their shares like crazy at those elevated prices when AMC was at $20, $30, $40 a share. Yeah, your views, your interests are aligned. No. You're basically dumping on retail. You're using them as basically a cheap bank. And for retail, you don't have to pay them interest. So that's the best type of bank. You're getting all this money from retail without having to pay interest. Unlike those investors like Antera, where you have to be paying them interest year after year.
AMC, I lose like 1,000 times that. That's not good. Like, we're on the same team. Like, we're all shareholders of this company. And
we're all on the same team. No, you're not.
all want this company to make money. We want the share price to rise. We want the company to survive and be strong. You don't have to play for the day. You can play for the longer term. But it's clearly for this company to succeed. And if we succeed, then we can hopefully make all of our industry succeed. That's the story. And with that, we're about to watch a movie.
But when we announced it today, the APE went up 75% today.
Well, my AMC one call.
Down, it went down 7. AMC went down 7%, but APE went up 75. So that tells you the market knows that they've been playing games with us.
My AMC one call.
It tells you the market has been playing. What? That tells you the market knows they have been playing games with us. No.
We've been playing games with us.
My AMC one calls were at 13.
So there you go, Ape family. He's finally spoken, and he has said everything and covered every base we would have wanted. And he sent another message. There's a limited space here. You have 1 billion shares of Ape that can be converted back into AMC, so whoever owns the Ape gets in the door. Everybody else that's owning the Ape, clearing houses and stuff, that's not real, you're left holding the bag, babe. With that...
More synthetics. God, these folks are just absolutely clueless. Absolutely just...
They released Ape. They didn't have enough Ape, so they had to start.
These guys, it's just so sad. Let's see, relevance. Does that change? So I guess those are some of the big ones. Oh, Frankie. I can't watch anything that this Donahue George guy posts. Like, he's beyond retarded, I think. Either retarded or he's maliciously putting out like false information because he's being paid. Only justification I can really think of. But all these folks pushing out. So it looks like, I guess, yeah, those are the big folks. New York Angelo, Common Sense Investor, that Frankie, Thomas James. Those seem to be the big guys. Let's change the filter. Let's do it by the past week. Oh, Scavenger, Keenan. So all the big folks that we used to rely on. Trey, Matt, what's the dog guy? Andrew, no, Mo Money, that guy. Oh, TMI. Oh, this guy's an absolute fool too. Phil for real. For real, go back to school and learn. Like, this guy obviously didn't really finish school because he doesn't understand basic concepts, can't do basic arithmetic, it seems like. Ah, this poor guy. He's a good marketer, I'll tell you that. Common sense investor. But wow, look at all those videos by Tony, by Common Sense. Let's see. I go to movie theaters around 5 times a year. More movies won't make me go more times. I mean, I can definitely understand that thing. But the thing is that, hey, let's say there are more movies being produced that are good. I don't know. So if you're a big Marvel, big DC, like comic books style, or more Star Wars, if there's more of those types of videos coming out, movies coming out, then you might be more willing to go to it more often. But the thing is that right now there's such limited movies coming out that they're not really people aren't incentivized to go as often. If you get consistently better quality movies coming out, then you might be more inclined to go. I mean, that's the logic. But on the flip side, you also need to contend with the fact that, hey, the landscape is changing. You have all these different streaming companies. You have Hulu, you have Disney, you have HBO, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, etc. You have so many different streaming platforms. I don't think movie production companies and production studios are ever going to give up sending releasing to the movie theaters. I don't think so, because when they do dual releases, right on streaming versus right on movie theaters, they lose out on a lot of money when they do just streaming. So that's why they realize that, hey, we need to go back to the theaters. But the thing is that it's good for the production studios, it's good for those companies, but the movie theaters aren't making money on those tickets as much. If the type of movies and the consumer behavior changes. So what I mean to tell you is, when you have movie theaters, when you have these big opening days, when you have your 50 million, 40 million, 36 million, when they negotiate these deals, they're front loaded. They'll make a large portion of these ticket sales. But as that time goes on, that percentage decreases. So the movie theaters recoups more of that, makes more of that ticket cost as time goes on. So you need movies that stay in the theaters for a longer period of time. So instead of grossing $2 billion and having a third of that in the first month or something, have that spread out more consistently over a longer period of time. That benefits the theaters if they're able to negotiate that. Any questions here? Anything on Ape T90? Failure to delivers. Failure to delivers T plus 35. I don't know if there's anything much to cover on this stuff. How many times have we seen T plus 35? Any of those dates come and go? 35 T plus 35 is okay within that 35-day range. So they could cover it in portions. It doesn't mean that, hey, on that 35th day, they must cover all those. T plus 90? I haven't found also literature to support the exact plus 90 date of those selling syndicates. I haven't found evidence to back that up. And even the people pushing the 90 date, they can't even seem to agree on what those dates are. I did a video and I had to correct this fool because he didn't know, he couldn't even calculate the dates because he couldn't even do any sort of research or diligence to figure out, oh, hey, you know what? There's holidays on these days, so the stock market isn't open, so that wouldn't count on that calculation. He can't even be bothered to do that. A lot of these pumpers, a lot of these grifters, a lot of these frauds, they're just pushing it for likes and views. They don't do the research. They don't do stuff based on facts. It's basically criminal. You're pushing out all this misinformation, spreading it out to your community, and just hyping them up. You're like, oh yeah, don't worry, just keep on holding your bags. Just be strong. Diamond hands. Buy and hodl. If I pull up my videos, T plus 90 video link. Hey, good evening. What did I say? I didn't type it or anything, did I?
And that's what I did.
They should.
Excuse me.
Negative. Is this information correct? Check this stuff. Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, he reused this calendar, and he said what, January 4th was the date. Except you got to figure out certain these days, like election day, stock market's open. Veterans Day, I believe it was open, and so forth. Like all in all, like these folks, there's no analysis. There's no due diligence. The whole concept of DD, when I heard it a lot of the times being pushed through on Reddit, there used to be like honest effort to do quality DD, but now the DD has been absolutely just garbage. It's just randomly pulling figures, numbers out of thin air, or just pulling it out their ass. That's all they're doing. They have to create some new theory. They have to come out with some sort of new event to hype up people so they don't lose hope. They need them to hold their bags. I mean, a lot of the bigger people, they were smart. They left. Oh, Boss Blunts. 11 months ago. A failure to research. Oh yes, it should no longer failure to deliver. It's failure to research. Folks like Boss Blunts, AMC Bigums, Al from Boston, etc. These folks, they think that they're doing DD. They think, oh, I'm reading these filings. Oh, I'm reading these documents. But they're totally misconstruing and misunderstanding what the hell they're talking, what they're reading. I bet you. Hire a professional person who deals with stock trading, knows securities law. I bet you. Go talk to them. Tell them to, hey, are you familiar with this ruling? Are you familiar with this law? Are you familiar with what this says? Are these procedures correct? Am I interpreting them correct? They'll come back and tell you, no, you're wrong. It's going to be this way. But hey, they're so hell bent on, oh, I can never be wrong. Oh, I read it 1,000 times. And they'll just scream and shout and curse at you when you put out any sort of opposition to them. they'll block you, they'll scream at you, they'll curse at you, they'll attack you, all because, hey, you know what? You can't have any opposing thoughts to me. No matter, even if you just want to play devil's advocate to make sure that, hey, you don't have too much confirmation bias or you're stuck in an echo chamber. No, they don't accept any of that. In the end, these folks all in AMC, they're gonna lose it all. In the end, I think, without a big change to movie theaters, without the big change to their business model, not movie theaters, but AMC theaters, AMC is gonna go crashing down. They'll be filing for bankruptcy. The only thing is the time frame it occurs in. If they're not able to raise enough cash to survive, then hey, that time's going to come sooner than later. Without this initial the selling of Ape units back on the 19th, and then through Antera Capital, if they weren't able to do that, like I covered in my video, they would have been done. Their cash on hand would have been depleted by end of 2023. They would have been in breach of their debt covenant, in which that would trigger a huge cascade. Remember, assets and liabilities. They have more liabilities than assets. This flipped from previously in 2017, 2018, 2019 when, hey, you know what? They had more assets than liabilities. So it wasn't a big as concern. So that's going to be it for the stream. I really just wanted to give you guys the update of the current box office situation. I'm tracking this on a daily basis. Honestly, I thought that, hey, Q4 would come in between Q2 and Q3, domestic box office wise, but honestly, I think that it could come in to match Q3. Really, worst case could be under Q3. That'd be horrifying for them. But the big surprise that even I didn't consider until I updated my information and I did this conditional formatting. Look at Q4 could be slower than Q4 this year. Could be slower than Q4 last year. That's the crazy part. How is this year's Q4? How is it worse than last year? So what does that tell you about the company? What does that tell you about consumer behavior? I'm going to be looking at attendance. I got to update the attendance figures, but look at how many people are attending the theaters for AMC. 39 million, 59 million, 53 million. What was it looking like pre-pandemic? 90, 90, 82, 94, 79, 96, 90 million. So I'm going to be pulling up all the quarters and looking at attendance figures, but look, they're still far behind. The recovery of people attending, it's just not there. Your profit margins are not improving. Your profit margins of admissions, your food and beverage, your margins are not improving. So in a company that's generating in the last 4 full years, what was your net profit? You don't have a net profit. You had a negative. You've burned over $1 billion. You've only had 1 year, 2018, 110 million. That tells you all you need to know. All you need to know and all about your investment. You should have done this type of research, not learned to follow fools on YouTube, on Reddit, on Twitter about this, oh, this MOASS, this short squeeze. Oh, yeah, it hasn't happened yet. No. Follow the fundamentals. As much as people praise DFV, that roaring kitty guy, I'm sure he did a much more thorough analysis of the company, and he realized, oh, hey, the company is extremely undervalued based on its financial conditions. That's how you make money. There's no get rich quick. What people are selling you is some get rich quick scheme. That's what this MOASS is. You need to break out and understand that, hey, that's not what AMC is. Billions and quadrillions of synthetic shares, naked shorts, manipulation. No. That's just all plants, basically. What all these grifters and frauds are planting into your minds so that, hey, you believe them, that you stay in the play. Oh no, you're not holding yourself accountable for your terrible actions. Actions have consequences, and if you invested in AMC and if you're down, that's because you chose to buy it and you didn't do the due diligence. You followed people who didn't do the real research. But if you've listened to this, you've seen my numbers, go double check them. Go pull up. I pulled these up from the SEC filings. You guys can do the exact same. Do it. Pull it up. See if these figures match. See if you can understand my logic behind it. I don't give you tinfoil hat theories. I give you the numbers exactly as they are. I'll look at previous performance. Then you can do modeling and projections off of those. But I don't make up numbers. I do it based on the data that I have. And that's the type of people you should be following. People that you should be listening to. Not people who throw out random numbers at their ass. Not people that are just hyping stuff up without any sort of source revealed for their data. You gotta break yourself out of that mold. So until next time, folks, hopefully you found this stuff interesting and relevant. One last thing I'll share with you folks before I log off. Opening weekend movies. Avatar, I'll say that, hey, over the week, they've pulled up. We know that opening day, Avatar was pretty low on that list. Avatar was 53 million, so that was what, lower mid. Yep, that was there. But opening weekend, a little bit better. Now opening week, tiny bit better. So we know that Avatar was less front loaded than as opposed to a lot of these other movies. So it's doing a little bit better, but it's not doing enough to save the company of AMC. So thanks for chiming in, coming and watching, folks. We'll see if I'll do another one in the coming weeks. But I wish everyone a happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everyone. Please be safe. Please be healthy. And found any of this stuff interesting, relevant, helped you, please, I'd appreciate it if you could like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with folks that need to listen to this message. Let's try to educate others. Pull them out of this terrible trap that these grifters and frauds, these people spreading misinformation, are doing. Until next time, folks, peace out. Shadow Stars.